Kang Taemin was the kind of man people avoided, a powerful figure whose name alone made others nervous. On the day he was supposed to start a new chapter of his life, he walked into a bakery to collect his wedding cake. But instead of a cake, he found a secret waiting for him. His maid, Amara Williams, was standing there holding a little boy. The boy looked at Taemin and said, "My mother told me to find you." What Taemin discovered next would uncover a hidden past, a painful betrayal, and the family he never knew he had. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a powerful story like this one. Now, let's discover what happened when a mafia boss found the son he never knew existed. The morning of Kang Taemin's wedding began with silence. That was the first thing people noticed. The house was filled with workers moving carefully, preparing clothes, arranging flowers, and checking every detail for the ceremony. Phones kept ringing. Cars arrived and left. Important guests were already making plans to appear at the right time. But Taemin sat alone in his office, staring at a small wooden box on his desk. Inside the box was an old necklace. It was not expensive. It was not made of rare stones. To anyone else, it looked like an ordinary piece of jewelry that had been kept for too long. But to Taemin, it was the last thing he had from the only person who once made him forget who he was. Soojin Park. 6 years had passed since she disappeared. 6 years since the woman who could make him smile with a simple joke walked out of his life and never returned. Everyone told him the same thing. Move on. Forget her. Accept that she was gone. Taemin never answered when people talked about her. He simply buried the memory and focused on building his empire. That was how he survived. He became the kind of man people respected but never approached. A man whose presence could silence a room without saying a word. Many people called him dangerous. Some called him heartless. But nobody knew that every year on the same day Soojin disappeared, Taemin still visited the small park where they used to talk. Nobody knew he still remembered the way she laughed when he made mistakes. Nobody knew he kept the necklace because he could not accept that everything they shared had simply vanished. A knock came at the door. "Taemin," a voice said. It was Amara Williams. She stood outside holding a folder. Amara had worked for Taemin for 3 years. She managed his schedule, handled important documents, and kept his home organized. But unlike most people around him, she was not afraid to speak honestly. She entered after he gave permission. "You have a meeting in 40 minutes, she said. "And the wedding ceremony starts at noon." Taemin closed the wooden box. "I know." Amara looked at him for a moment. She noticed the tired look in his eyes. "You know, most people getting married are usually more excited." Taemin looked at her. "Are you saying I should smile more?" Amara smiled slightly. "I am saying the guests might think they are attending a business meeting with flowers." For a second there was silence. Then something unusual happened. Taemin almost smiled. Almost. Amara noticed but pretended she did not. That was one thing she had learned about him. If you pointed out a small moment of kindness, he would quickly hide it. "You should eat something before the ceremony," she said. "I'm not hungry." "You said that yesterday." "I was busy." "You were staring at documents for 3 hours without reading them." Taemin looked away. Amara shook her head. "Even scary people need breakfast." For a moment, the serious atmosphere disappeared. But Amara's smile faded when she saw his expression change. She knew something he did not. Today was not going to be a normal wedding day. She had carried a secret for years. A secret that could destroy Taemin's entire world. A secret involving a little boy waiting across the city. A secret involving Soojin. And today she had finally run out of time. After leaving the office, Taemin prepared to attend the ceremony. But before he left, he made an unusual decision. "I will pick up the wedding cake myself." The people around him looked surprised. One of his assistants stepped forward. "We can send someone." "No. But the bakery is already prepared for delivery." "I said I will go." Nobody argued. When Taemin made a decision, people followed. The bakery was located in a quiet street in Seoul, away from the busy areas of the city. It was a small place, but it was known for making special cakes for important events. Taemin arrived without a large group around him. He wanted a few minutes alone. The bakery owner greeted him nervously. "Mr. Kang, everything is ready?" Taemin nodded. "Good." The owner looked relieved. "Your cake has been handled carefully. We made sure everything was perfect." Taemin gave a small nod. "Thank you." The owner walked away to prepare the final arrangements. Taemin looked around the bakery. For some reason, the place felt strangely familiar. Then he heard a child's voice. "Are you sure this is the right person?" Taemin stopped. A child. Inside the private preparation room. That was impossible. He slowly walked toward the voice. When he opened the door, he saw Amara. But she was not holding documents. She was not checking schedules. She was standing beside a small boy. The child was holding her hand tightly. Amara looked at Taemin. Her face changed immediately. Fear. Not fear of him hurting her. Fear because she knew the moment she had been avoiding had arrived. Taemin looked at the boy. The child looked back. He had dark hair, quiet eyes, and a small expression that showed he was trying to be brave. Taemin did not understand why, but seeing the child made his chest feel heavy. The boy looked at the necklace around Taemin's neck. His eyes widened. Slowly, he reached into his pocket and pulled out an old photograph. Taemin froze. The picture was worn from years of being carried around. But he recognized it immediately. Sujin. She was smiling in the picture. And beside her was the same necklace. The boy looked at him. "Are you Kang Taemin?" The room became quiet. Taemin did not answer immediately. "Who are you?" The boy looked at Amara. Amara lowered herself beside him. "It is okay, Minjun." The boy took a small breath. "My mother said if I ever met you, I should give you this." He held out the photograph. Taemin took it slowly. His fingers tightened around it. "Where did you get this?" The boy looked confused. "It belongs to my mother." Taemin looked at Amara. "What is this?" Amara's eyes filled with emotion. For years she had imagined this moment. She imagined anger. She imagined questions. She imagined Taemin refusing to believe her. But seeing him standing there, holding the picture, she realized no preparation could make this easier. "Taemin." Her voice became quiet. "The boy's name is Minjun." Taemin waited. "He is Sujin's son." The room felt smaller. Taemin stared at her. "Why are you telling me this?" Amara swallowed. "Because he is your son too." For the first time in years, Kang Taemin had no response. The man who always knew what to say had nothing. The man who could handle threats, pressure, and betrayal stood frozen in front of a child. A child who carried the face of the past he thought he had lost forever. And a truth that was about to change everything. Taemin looked at Amara for a long moment. The bakery was still quiet, but inside his mind, everything felt loud. "Your son." Those two words kept repeating. He looked at the little boy standing beside Amara. Minjun was watching him carefully, as if he was trying to understand what kind of person Taemin was. That look bothered him. Not because the child was afraid. Because Taemin realized he had no idea what the child expected from him. A father. The word felt unfamiliar. "Taemin," Amara said softly. He did not answer. Instead, he looked at the photograph again. Sujin was smiling. It was a smile he had not seen in years. A smile that belonged to a time before secrets, betrayal, and pain. "Where is she?" Taemin finally asked. Amara lowered her eyes. "I don't know." His expression changed. "You brought my son here, but you don't know where his mother is?" Amara expected anger. She expected him to blame her. But she also knew she deserved his questions. "I know how it sounds," she said. "But I am not trying to hurt you." "Then explain." Amara took a slow breath. 6 years ago, Sujin found out that someone close to you was hiding information from you. She discovered that people around your organization were making plans behind your back. Taemin remained silent. She wanted to tell you. But before she could, she disappeared. "Why didn't she come to me?" Amara looked at him. "Because someone convinced her that coming back to you would put Minjun in danger." Taemin's eyes moved toward the child. Minjun was quietly looking at the floor. He was old enough to understand that adults were talking about something serious, but too young to understand why. Taemin noticed the small backpack beside him. A child's backpack. Not something a person from his world would normally notice. But now he did. "How long have you known?" Taemin asked. Amara hesitated. "Since he was born." The answer hurt more than he expected. "You knew for 6 years?" "I knew about Minjun," Amara replied. "I did not know where you were emotionally. I did not know if he would believe us. I did not know if telling you would put him in danger." Taemin looked away. He wanted to be angry. Part of him was angry. But another part of him knew something. Amara had spent 6 years protecting a child who was not hers. She had carried a secret that could change her entire life. That was not something someone did without a reason. Minjun suddenly spoke. "Are you mad at Amara?" Both adults looked at him. The question surprised Taemin. The boy was not asking about himself. He was worried about Amara. Taemin looked at the child. "No." Minjun studied his face. "Are you sure?" Taemin almost smiled. "Almost. Yes." The boy nodded. "Good. She worries a lot." Amara looked embarrassed. "Minjun." "What? You do?" For the first time that morning, Taemin saw something normal. A child teasing someone. A small moment that did not belong to his dangerous world. And strangely, it made him feel uncomfortable. Because he realized he had missed things like this without knowing. A few minutes later, Taemin left the bakery with Amara and Minjun. The wedding was still scheduled. The guests were still arriving. But the man who left the bakery was not the same man who entered. His assistant noticed immediately. Something had changed. "Taemin, should we return to the wedding location?" Taemin looked through the car window. Minjun was sitting quietly in the back seat. He was holding a small toy car. Taemin had no idea when the boy got it. He had no idea what Minjun liked. He did not even know his favorite food. 6 years. 6 years had passed. 6 years of birthdays. 6 years of first words. 6 years of moments he would never get back. The thought bothered him more than any enemy ever had. "Cancel my schedule for today," Taemin said. The assistant looked surprised. "But the wedding." "I said cancel it." The assistant became quiet. Nobody questioned him. But Amara did. "You can't just disappear from your own wedding." Taemin looked at her. "Watch me." Amara crossed her arms. "You know, for someone who controls an entire organization, you are surprisingly bad at handling normal problems." His eyebrow moved slightly. "Are you criticizing me?" "I am observing." "That sounds like criticism." "It probably is." For a second, the tension disappeared. Minjun looked between them. "Are you two always like this?" Amara looked at him. "Like what?" "Like you are arguing but you are not angry." Taemin and Amara both became quiet. The boy had noticed something they had not. Amara looked out the window to hide her smile. Taemin looked away. But for the first time that day, the heavy feeling in his chest became a little lighter. They arrived at one of Taemin's private homes outside the center of Seoul. It was a quiet place where he went when he wanted to escape attention. Amara helped Minjun settle in. Taemin stood nearby, unsure what to do. He had faced dangerous situations without hesitation. But now he was standing in a room filled with children's drawings and small toys, and he felt completely lost. Minjun looked up at him. "Do you live here alone?" Taemin nodded. "Yes." "Doesn't it get lonely?" The question caught him off guard. Adults never asked him things like that. They asked about money, power, business. Nobody asked if he was lonely. "I am used to it." Minjun frowned. "That doesn't mean you like it." Taemin looked at him. The boy sounded exactly like Sujin. Not the voice, the way he noticed things. Sujin had always been able to see the feelings he tried to hide. Amara watched quietly. She saw the moment Taemin understood. This was not just a child connected to his past. This was a chance he never thought he would have. Later that evening, Taemin sat at the dining table. A small plate was in front of him. Minjun looked disappointed. "That is not how you cut noodles." Taemin looked down. He had no idea he was doing it wrong. "I did not know there was a correct way." "There is." Minjun picked up his chopsticks and showed him. "You have to be gentle." Taemin looked at the chopsticks. Gentle. A word rarely used around him. Amara laughed quietly. "What?" She shook her head. "I just never thought I would see Kang Taemin getting a lesson from a 6-year-old. Taemin looked at Minjun. The boy smiled. And something inside Taemin changed. Not completely. Not suddenly. But enough. For years, people had looked at him with fear. This child was looking at him like he was just a person. And Taemin did not know how much he needed that until now. That night, Taemin did not sleep. He sat in his office, surrounded by documents, but he could not focus on any of them. Normally, when a problem appeared, he solved it quickly. A business conflict, a rival, a threat. Everything had a clear answer. But this was different. There was no strategy that could bring back 6 years. No decision that could return the moments he missed. He looked at the small drawing Minjun had left on the table before going to bed. It was a simple picture. 3 people standing together. A man, a woman, a child holding both their hands. At the bottom, written in uneven handwriting, were the words, "My family." Taemin stared at it for a long time. His phone rang. It was one of his most trusted men, Park Do-hyun. "Taemin, we need to talk." The serious tone immediately caught his attention. "What happened?" "There are questions about today." Taemin leaned back. "From who?" "From people connected to the Yoon family." His expression became colder. "The Yoon family? The family of his future wife? What questions?" "They want to know why the wedding arrangements changed. They also asked about the woman who was with you." Taemin looked toward the hallway. Mara. Someone was already watching. He had expected problems, but he did not expect them so quickly. "Find everything about Yoon Hae-rin's family," Taemin ordered. Do-hyun became quiet. "You think they are involved?" "I think someone has been hiding something from me." After ending the call, Taemin remained still. For years, people had tried to challenge his power. But this felt different. This was personal. The next morning, Amara found Taemin sitting at the kitchen table. She stopped for a moment. It was unusual. The man who normally ate alone was sitting there with a small bowl in front of him. Minjun was beside him. "Did you make breakfast?" she asked. Taemin looked at the food. "I attempted." Amara looked at the plate. The eggs were not completely ruined, but they were clearly not made by someone experienced. Minjun looked proud. "He tried 3 times." Amara looked at Taemin. "You made eggs 3 times?" "The first 2 were unacceptable." She tried not to laugh. "You sound like you were reviewing a business contract." "They were not good eggs." Minjun smiled. Amara covered her mouth. She did not want Taemin to notice how funny the situation was. But he did. "You are laughing at me." "No. You are. Maybe a little." For a moment, Taemin did something nobody around him expected. He laughed. It was quiet, small, but real. Amara noticed. So did Minjun. The boy looked surprised. "You can laugh." Taemin looked at him. "Of course I can. I never saw you do it." The sentence was innocent, but it stayed with him. Later that day, Taemin asked Amara to tell him everything about Sujin. They sat in the garden while Minjun played nearby. For years, Taemin avoided speaking about her. Now he needed every detail. "She talked about you often," Amara said. Taemin looked at her. "She did." Amara nodded. "She said people misunderstood you." He looked toward the child. "What else did she say?" "She said you acted like you didn't care because caring made you afraid." Taemin did not answer, because he knew it was true. Amara continued. "Sujin believed there was still a good person inside you." Taemin gave a small, tired smile. "She was wrong." Amara looked at him. "No, she was not." He looked at her. "How do you know?" "Because if she was wrong, you would not be sitting here trying to learn how to be a father." Taemin looked away. He had no response. Amara had a way of saying things he did not want to hear. But somehow he listened. That evening, Taemin received information from Do-hyun. The results were disturbing. Yoon Hae-rin's family had connections to several people who disappeared after crossing them. More importantly, there were records showing they had searched for Sujin years ago. Taemin read the information carefully. His hand tightened. The woman he loved had not simply vanished. Someone had helped make her disappear. And he had spent years blaming himself for something he did not understand. When Amara entered the room, she immediately noticed his expression. "What happened?" Taemin handed her the documents. She read through them. Her face changed. "I knew something was wrong," she whispered. "You knew?" "I suspected. But I never had proof." Taemin stood. "Why didn't you tell me before?" Amara looked hurt. "Because I was trying to protect Minjun." The room became quiet. "I had already lost Sujin," Amara said. "I could not risk losing him too." Taemin looked at her. For the first time, he understood the weight she had carried. She was not keeping a secret to hurt him. She was protecting a child who had already lost too much. "I'm sorry," he said. Amara looked surprised. Those words from Taemin were rare. "Did you just apologize?" He looked uncomfortable. "Do not make it strange." A small smile appeared on her face. "I am just surprised." "Why?" "Because I thought you might need someone to explain how apologies work." Taemin looked at her. Are you saying I don't know how to apologize? I am saying your apology sounded like a business announcement. For a second they both smiled. But the moment did not last. Because outside the house someone was watching. A black car remained parked nearby. Inside sat Yoon Hae-rin. She looked at a picture on her phone. A picture of Taemin. And beside him was Min-jun. Her expression changed. The plan she had spent years preparing was falling apart. He found him, she whispered. The person sitting beside her asked, "What should we do?" Hae-rin looked out the window. "Bring him back to the wedding." The person hesitated. "Do you think he will agree?" Hae-rin gave a small smile. "He always keeps his promises." She looked again at the picture. That is what makes him predictable. But Hae-rin did not know one thing. The man she thought she understood was changing. The same person who once chose power above everything had finally found something he was willing to lose everything for. His son. The following morning, Taemin woke up earlier than usual. For years, waking up had always meant the same thing. Meetings, problems, decisions. But this morning, he heard something he had almost forgotten existed. A child laughing. He walked downstairs and saw Min-jun sitting at the table with Amara. The boy was showing her a drawing. Taemin stopped at the doorway. He did not want to interrupt. Min-jun was smiling. It was a simple thing, but Taemin realized he had never seen that kind of happiness in his own home before. When Min-jun noticed him, the boy quickly covered the drawing. "What is that?" Taemin asked. "Nothing." Taemin looked at Amara. She smiled. "He does not want you to see it yet." "Why?" "Because he says it is a surprise." Taemin nodded. He understood business secrets. He understood people hiding information. But he had never experienced a child keeping something hidden because he wanted to make someone happy. Later that morning, Min-jun asked Taemin a question while they were outside. "Did you know you were my father?" Taemin looked at him. "No." The boy looked down. "Did my mom tell you about me?" Taemin paused. "No." Min-jun was quiet. "Then you did not know I existed?" "No." The boy kicked a small stone on the ground. "That means you didn't leave me." The word surprised Taemin. "What?" Min-jun looked up. "I used to think maybe you knew about me and didn't want me." Taemin felt something tighten inside him. A child should never have to wonder if they were unwanted. He lowered himself so they were at the same height. "Min-jun." The boy looked at him. "I did not know. But if I had known, I would have come." "Really? Really?" Min-jun studied his face. Children were different from adults. They did not care about reputation. They did not care about power. They only looked for honesty. After a moment, Min-jun nodded. "Okay." Taemin almost smiled. "Okay. Yes. That is all." Min-jun shrugged. "You answered." It was such a simple response that Taemin did not know what to say. Amara watched them from a distance. She saw the change happening. Not a sudden transformation. Not a completely different man. Just small pieces of the old Taemin disappearing. The man who once thought emotions were dangerous was learning that some feelings were worth protecting. But the peaceful moment did not last. That afternoon, Do-hyun arrived with more information. His expression was serious. "Taemin, we found something." They moved into the office. Amara stayed nearby with Min-jun. "What is it?" Do-hyun placed a folder on the table. "We traced the people who searched for Soo-jin 6 years ago." Taemin opened the folder. Inside were names, dates, locations, and one name appeared several times. Yoon Hae-rin. Taemin stared at it. "Are you certain?" "Yes." "Why?" Do-hyun hesitated. "Because she knew about Soo-jin before she met you." The room became silent. Taemin looked through the information. Hae-rin had not been a stranger who entered his life recently. She had studied him. She knew his history. She knew his weaknesses. And she knew exactly what she was doing. A memory came back. The first time Hae-rin met him, she had said something unusual. "You look like someone who has lost something important." At the time, he thought it was just a strange comment. Now it sounded different. She knew. She always knew. Taemin closed the folder. "I want to know where Soo-jin is." Do-hyun looked at him. "If she is alive, finding her may expose everything." "I know. It could destroy your position." Taemin looked toward the room where Min-jun was sitting. "My position does not matter." Do-hyun was surprised. Those were words he never expected to hear. For years, Taemin protected his power because he believed it was the only thing keeping him safe. Now he was willing to risk it, because there was finally something more important. That evening, Taemin received a message. Unknown number. One sentence. Stop searching or your son will disappear like his mother. Taemin's expression changed instantly. Amara noticed. What happened? He did not answer. She walked closer. Taemin. He showed her the message. Her face became pale. No. Taemin immediately called his security team. But Amara stopped him. Wait. He looked at her. If they wanted to hurt him, they would not warn us. Then what do you think they want? They want you afraid. Taemin looked at the message again. Amar was right. Someone wanted him to react emotionally. Someone wanted him to make a mistake. And that was exactly what Taemin could not allow. He walked into the room where Minjun was drawing. The boy looked up. Are we leaving? Taemin was surprised. Why would you think that? Because adults always become serious before something changes. The answer caught him off guard. Minjun was young, but he noticed everything. Taemin sat beside him. We might have to be careful for a while. Are bad people coming? Taemin hesitated. Then he answered honestly. Some people may try to cause problems. Minjun looked worried. Are you scared? The question surprised him. Taemin looked down. Nobody asked him that. Sometimes. Minjun tilted his head. I thought you were not scared of anything. Taemin looked at him. I am scared of losing people I care about. The boy became quiet. Then he reached out and held Taemin's hand. It was a small gesture, but Taemin felt it more than any powerful person shaking his hand. You won't lose me, Minjun said. Taemin looked away for a moment. He did not want the child to see how much those words affected him. From the doorway, Amara watched quietly. She understood. This was the first time Taemin had admitted he cared. Not through actions, not through protection, through words. The next day, Taemin made a decision. He would go to the wedding. Not because he wanted the marriage. Not because he wanted to protect an alliance. He would go because he wanted everyone responsible to see the truth. The wedding that was supposed to mark his new beginning would become the day their secrets ended. Amara disagreed. You are walking into a room full of people who may want to control you. Taemin adjusted his jacket. I know. You do not have to prove anything. I am not proving anything. He looked at Minjun. I am making sure my son knows I chose him. Amara became quiet. Those words meant more than any threat, because she knew how difficult they were for Taemin to say. Before leaving, Minjun handed Taemin the drawing he had hidden earlier. Taemin opened it. It was the picture from before. 3 people holding hands. But this time there was something new. Amara was standing beside them. Taemin looked at the drawing. You added Amara. Minjun nodded. She helped me find you. Taemin looked at Amara. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Taemin folded the drawing carefully and placed it inside his jacket. I will keep it safe. And for the first time in years, Kang Taemin walked toward danger without thinking about protecting his power. He was walking to protect his family. The wedding venue was already filled with guests when Taemin arrived. Everyone expected the same person they had always known. The powerful businessman. The man who never showed doubt. The man who always walked into a room knowing exactly what would happen next. But the people waiting for him did not know that the person arriving today had changed. Not because he became weaker. Because he finally had something worth protecting. Amara sat beside Minjun in the car outside the venue. She looked at Taemin before he stepped out. Are you sure about this? Taemin looked at her. No. The answer surprised her. He continued. But I know hiding will not fix anything. Amara nodded slowly. She had spent years protecting Minjun by keeping him away from danger. Now she understood that sometimes the truth had to come out. Minjun held Taemin's hand before he left. Come back. Taemin looked down. It was such a simple request, but it carried more meaning than any order he had ever received. I will. The boy nodded. Promise. Taemin looked at him. He knew promises were serious, especially to a child. I promise. Then Taemin walked toward the entrance. Inside, Yoon Hai-rin stood with a calm smile. She looked perfect for the ceremony. She greeted guests. She accepted compliments. She acted like everything was going according to plan. But when she saw Taemin enter, her smile slowly disappeared. Because he was not alone. People began whispering. Questions spread through the room. Who was the child? Why was Amara there? Why did Taemin look different? Hyrin walked toward him. Taemin, what is happening? He looked at her. You tell me. Her expression changed. I do not understand. That is the problem. The guests became quiet. Taemin reached into his jacket and removed the drawing Minjun gave him. He looked at it for a moment before putting it away. Then he turned toward everyone. There is something you all need to know. Hyrin's father stepped forward. Taemin, this is not the time. Taemin looked at him. Actually, this is exactly the time. Amara entered with Minjun. The boy held her hand tightly. Taemin walked toward them. Then he placed his hand gently on Minjun's shoulder. This is my son. The room became silent. Some guests looked shocked. Others immediately looked toward Hyrin's family. Hyrin stared at Minjun. You knew. Her voice was quiet. Taemin looked at her. You knew before today. She did not answer. That silence was enough. The truth was already visible. Hyrin's father tried to control the situation. This child could be anyone. Taemin looked at him. Interesting. The man frowned. What? You were very quick to question him. Taemin took a step forward. You did not ask who he was. You asked if he could belong to me. The room became tense. Amara watched carefully. She knew Taemin was dangerous when he was angry. But today was different. He was not acting out of revenge. He was fighting for the truth. Hyrin finally spoke. You think I wanted to hurt you? Taemin looked at her. I think you knew more than you told me. Her eyes changed. For a moment, the calm image disappeared. Then she looked at Minjun. The child should never have been brought here. Amara immediately moved closer to him. Taemin noticed. What does that mean? Hyrin said nothing, but her father did. You have no idea what that woman caused. Taemin's eyes narrowed. Explain. The older man laughed quietly. You think Sujin was innocent? Amara looked angry. Do not talk about her like that. The man ignored her. She discovered things she should not have discovered. She thought she could threaten powerful people and walk away. Taemin became still. What things? The man realized he had said too much. But it was already too late. Taemin understood. Sujin had not disappeared because of him. She had disappeared because she found something dangerous. Something people were willing to destroy lives to protect. Where is she? Taemin asked. Nobody answered. Then a voice came from the back of the room. I can tell you. Everyone turned. An older woman stood near the entrance. She looked nervous but determined. Taemin recognized her. She had worked for Hyrin's family years ago. What are you doing here? Hyrin's father demanded. The woman ignored him. She looked at Taemin. Sujin Park is alive. The entire room froze. Even Taemin, who had prepared himself for many possibilities, could not move. Where? The woman held a small envelope. She asked me to give this to you if the truth was ever revealed. Taemin took the envelope. His hands were steady. But inside, everything was falling apart. He opened it. Inside was a letter. Only a few words were written. Taemin, if you are reading this, it means Minjun found you. His breathing changed. The room disappeared. He only saw Sujin's handwriting. I'm sorry for the years you lost. I wanted to come back. I tried many times. But every time I got close, someone stopped me. He continued reading. I need you to know one thing. I never stopped loving you. I never stopped hoping our son would know his father. Taemin closed his eyes. For years, he had carried pain because he believed she chose to leave. Now he knew the truth. She had been fighting to survive. Amara watched him quietly. She had seen Taemin angry. She had seen him serious. But she had never seen him broken. Hyrin's father stepped forward. Do you really think one letter changes anything? Taemin looked up. The sadness in his eyes disappeared. Something stronger replaced it. Yes. The man laughed. Why? Taemin looked toward Minjun. Because now I know what I am fighting for. At that moment, the doors opened. People outside began moving quickly. Security guards rushed in. Something was happening. Hyrin's father looked nervous for the first time. Taemin noticed, and he understood. The wedding was never the final plan. It was only the beginning. The room changed in a matter of seconds. A few moments earlier, it had been filled with music, flowers, and quiet conversations. Now, everyone was looking around, trying to understand what was happening. Taemin noticed the fear on Hairin's father's face. That was the first sign. A man who always looked confident had finally lost control. "Everyone stays calm," Taemin said. His voice was firm, but it was not loud. People listened. That was the kind of influence he had built over the years. But this time he was not using it to control people. He was using it to protect them. Amara moved closer to Minjun. The boy looked confused. "Are we in trouble?" She lowered herself beside him. "No. Stay with me." Minjun looked toward Taemin. "Is my dad okay?" Amara looked at Taemin. For years, people had called him many things. A businessman, a leader, a dangerous man. But at that moment, she saw something different. A father who was trying his best. "He will be okay," she said. Outside the ceremony room, several people connected to Hairin's family were arguing with Taemin's security team. They had expected Taemin to come alone. They had expected him to follow the plan. They had not expected a child to reveal the truth. They had not expected Taemin to choose his heart over his reputation. Hairin's father stepped forward. "You are making a mistake, Taemin." Taemin looked at him. "You made the mistake of believing I would always be the same person." The man frowned. "What does that mean?" Taemin looked at Minjun. "It means I have something now that you cannot control." The older man smiled. "You think a child makes you stronger?" Taemin answered calmly. "No." He paused. "He reminds me why I should stop being the person you feared." Nobody spoke. Even Hairin looked surprised. Because she had spent years studying Taemin. She thought she understood him. She thought she knew what he wanted. Power, respect, control. She never considered that the thing that would change him was something simple. A child holding his hand. Hairin looked at Minjun. Then she looked at Taemin. "Why?" Taemin turned toward her. "Why did you do this?" For the first time, she looked less like a powerful woman and more like someone who had lost control of the life she planned. "My family spent years building influence," she said quietly. "You think people like us can survive by being kind?" Amara watched her carefully. There was no excuse in her words. Only fear. Fear of losing power. Taemin shook his head. "You had everything and still chose to take from others." Hairin looked away, because she knew he was right. The evidence against the Yoon family continued to spread over the following days. Documents were uncovered. Hidden records were found. People who had remained silent for years finally spoke. The truth about Sujin's disappearance became clear. She had discovered illegal activities connected to powerful people around Taemin. When she tried to expose them, she became a target. She was forced to disappear and live under protection. Amara had found her during those difficult years. She promised Sujin that Minjun would be safe. That promise was the reason she stayed silent. Not because she wanted to hurt Taemin, because she was afraid the wrong people would find the child. After the truth came out, Taemin focused on one thing: finding Sujin. He traveled to a quiet town outside Seoul where she had been living under another name. For the first time in 6 years, he stood in front of the woman he thought he had lost forever. The door opened. Sujin froze. Neither of them spoke. There were too many words, too many years, too many unanswered questions. Finally, Taemin said her name. Sujin. Her eyes filled with tears. "You found me." Taemin looked at her. "I should have found you sooner." She shook her head. "No." Her voice was quiet. "You did not know." Behind Taemin, Minjun stepped forward. Sujin immediately looked at him. Her entire expression changed. "My son." Minjun ran toward her. For a moment, nobody spoke. Taemin watched them. He had imagined this moment many times, but he never imagined it would feel so peaceful. Sujin looked at Taemin after holding their son. "I wanted to come back. I know. I was afraid. I know." She looked down. "I thought you would hate me." Taemin shook his head. "I hated myself because I thought you left." The honesty surprised her, because this was the first time Taemin admitted his pain without hiding behind anger. Sujin looked at him. "You changed." Taemin glanced at Minjun. "Someone helped me." Sujin followed his eyes. She saw Amara standing nearby. A small smile appeared. Amara kept her promise. Taemin nodded. "She protected our son." Sujin looked grateful. "She protected all of us." Months passed. The world changed for Kang Taemin. People expected him to return to the life he had always known. They expected revenge. They expected him to rebuild his power. But Taemin surprised everyone. He stepped away from the dangerous parts of his world. He helped expose the people responsible for the crimes around him. He gave up the control that once defined him. Some people called it a foolish decision. Others wondered how someone like him could walk away. But Taemin no longer cared about those opinions. Because every morning he woke up knowing where his family was. And that was enough. One afternoon, Amara visited him while Minjun was preparing for a school event. She watched Taemin struggle to help Minjun fix a small project. You know, for someone who handled serious business meetings, you are having trouble with a simple school project. Taemin looked at the paper in his hand. The instructions were unclear. Amara smiled. They were written for children. Exactly. That makes them difficult. She laughed. Minjun looked between them. You two always joke with each other. Amara looked at Taemin. Is that a problem? No. Minjun smiled. I think you are happier now. The words made both adults quiet. Taemin looked at the boy. Years ago, nobody would have dared to say something like that to him. But Minjun could, because he was not afraid of the man everyone else feared. He only knew his father. Later that evening, Taemin attended Minjun's school event. He sat among other parents. Nobody there knew his past. Nobody cared about his reputation. They only saw a father watching his child proudly. When Minjun finished his presentation, he looked into the crowd. He found Taemin immediately and smiled. Taemin smiled back. A small moment, a simple moment, but it was everything he once believed he could never have. The man who spent years building walls around himself finally understood something. A person could have power, money, and respect but still feel empty. And sometimes, the smallest hand reaching for yours could change your entire life. As Taemin walked home with his family that evening, Minjun held one hand and Sujin held the other. Amara walked beside them, smiling as she watched the family she helped bring back together. The world still remembered Kang Taemin as a powerful man who once controlled a dangerous empire. But the people who truly knew him remembered something else. They remembered a father who found his way home.